What's going on, my people? Welcome back to the channel. Your boy Chuck right here, EJI Motoring headquarters, as you know. So today we got a little project that I'm about to get into. This is for the guys that want to do Honda Accord. If you're familiar with this Honda Accord, or if you ever own a Honda Accord, there's a problem that this Honda developed after a few thousand miles on them, and that is the VTC actuator gets worn out and it doesn't retain oil pressure like you should. When you crank the car in the morning, you will hear a loud rattle noise. It comes and it goes away quickly. You know, maybe it will last like 1 or 2 seconds and it goes away. This is a sign of a failed VTC actuator. It is the part that drives your cam, intake cam to be specific, and it advances and retards your timing for fuel efficiency and power in the engine. So today I want to show you guys how do a VTC actuator on these Hondas, how you can replace this without having to remove the front timing cover. All you need to remove is the top valve cover, and you can access the chain. There's a process you take to do that. You can slip in that new sprocket without having to remove the entire chain and doing a whole chain job, which is going to take you more time. So this usually takes, for the first time, it might take you some time. I don't know. It all depends how fast and how mechanically inclined you are. If you're doing it for the first time, you want to take your time. But for me, it usually takes about 1.5, sometimes 1 hour. It all depends how fast I want to move on it. And you knock it out. But if you're doing the front cover, that's probably going to take you 4 or 5 hours job to do. And there's more things to take off and more mistakes to be made. So without further ado, let's get started. But before we do, I want you to go ahead, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel on my Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, or TikTok. So just follow it. All right, further ado, let's get to work. Over here, I have the actuator. I have the VTC actuator. I had it soaked in oil since last night. You can over here, I went ahead and bought some valve cover gaskets. So if you're doing this job, I recommend getting you a valve cover gasket, because you're gonna need that. And make sure you get the one with the plug seals, so you can seal up the spark plug hole. And then get you some sealant, because you're gonna need a liquid silicone on the edges of the valve cover too. And for the plate of the timing chain guide, you're gonna remove it. So I'm about to show you guys. So alright guys, so I have the engine top cover off, you can see. So the next stage we need to do now is put this engine to top dead center. That's the plate cover for the timing chain tensioner. So that's the cover. I'm going to take that cover off. Alright, that's the tensioner. So I have this at top dead center compression stroke. We'll show you guys the timing mark. I got a timing mark right here. You can see that sprocket pointing is up that way, and the back cam, which is the exhaust, you can see it's pointing straight up. And there's these two lines in the timing sprocket gear. They are facing each other. You can see that. Okay, so now we go to the bottom one on the
on the sprockets for the time crankshaft pulley, it needs to line up to that mark on the timing cover right there. Okay, tensioner, you will look like this. So now what we need to do is make sure you have your pin. This is the pin we're going to use to retain the tensioner. Okay, so leave it right. This what we use to turn the engine, and we're going to back it up just at 1 inch or however you need to back it up to relieve the tension. So this is what we're gonna do. We back it up, and you see a line back up to the hole on the body. You see? Now I line up to that hole now. So we take this and we insert it in that hole. Insert it right there. And now we go back to the line where we left. We backed it up. Now we have to go back to that line, that position that we need to be. And that is going to retain that tensioner in a release position. Right now that we backed it up, it compressed the tensioner a little bit in. And now we put the pin in, that's going to hold that tensioner in position. So when I move forward, it's going to hold that tensioner and relieve pressure from the chain. That's how I'll be able to get just enough slack that I need to be able to sneak out the chain from this timing system. So let me show you the line. So we need to move it back to the position. Okay, here's the position back to where it was before. Let's get started. Tie strap and tie that chain in that way it's not gonna buck up and slide off. Very important. Let me see if I can get me an assistant to hold this. Yeah, guys, we are here. So you're going to need a 24-inch millimeter wrench to put in the middle here. Now we're loosening it so it should be on this side. It's a 17 everywhere, so use something to cover this hole here, and then pull that off, put to the side, get our new one that's been soaking all night. We pull it to line up with the hole. Make sure it's in that hole. I have a new bolt here. You don't have to change these bolts. A wrench here that's going to support it. Now we're gonna lock it in place because it's on the unlock position. So we're gonna, now it's engaged. So you have to torque it down in the unlock position. So now you twist it and that locks in, and now we're going back to install it. Is it on it?
Yeah, you are.
Can let it go. Thank you. When you first put it on, before putting this down, all of this, don't be so worried about these two things lining up, because if it's not all the way down, it's not going to be perfectly lined up. So as long as it's close to it, like this is, you good. And so now all I need to do is put the rest of it, as I'm tightening it down, is going to reposition itself. Okay, that's the science behind that. We're going to torque this down to 16 foot-pounds. And we're going to torque this down starting from the middle. We're going to walk this, go here, go here, go here, and finalize on this. Okay, we're going to start from the midsection here. And I am moving on and to putting on the front cover. Liquid silicone on that edge right there and the edge in the back there. Okay, now that I'm done, come back here. Don't forget, take this off. And now we're going to rotate this engine about 2 turns to see, make sure everything is still lined up. We are not worried about this paint mark on the chain, because it's not going to line up again. What we are worrying about is these two here facing each other, and that crankshaft, you know, sprocket or balancer actually at the point of the front cover, and this pointing up, 2 of them, and this facing each other. That's all we care about. So that's up here, that's up here. Those 2 are facing each other, as you can see. Lined up down there in the front of that little piece. So what's remaining for me is put the cover back on now. Start it up, and you hear the difference on how the engine starts up. All right. Go ahead and crank the engine. I recommend when you do this, go ahead and change the oil as you do this job. Change the oil at the same time. All right. All right, guys. As you can see, the car is running. I had the noise you hear a little bit was the power steering pump trying to clear up the air in the system from me disconnecting the line and rotating it. So you can hear the noise is gone. It's running good. So hey, for now I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here. Thank you for watching. Like I said, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Enjoyed it. I hope it helped you out. Keep on rolling, keep on wrenching. All right, guys. Peace.